Alrighty then, it's time for a Jungle Jacks game, and he's been picking up a whole lot of traction. Which one? Mostly because everyone else at the top is sort of crumbling at the moment, which too. And in order to be at the top, you don't necessarily have to, climb. Everyone else just sort of has to fall down. Anyhow, same runes and masteries as always. Attack damage red, attack damage quints, armor yellow, magic resistance blues, and 18-12-0 masteries. Although you can take pretty defensive runes if you wanted to, and masteries I mean, he's pretty liberal with that. Anyways, right off the bat, Lee Sin ganks top and he gets super fucked up. 2 tower shots and Gangplank hits him and he's forced to burn his flash. He's only level 2 as well. Now, since he's all fucked up and only level 2, he's got 2 choices. Go home or try to take a small camp. Either way, it lets me invade him. I catch him in blue, wolves, and I kill him promptly. I also take the wolves as well. So I turn on the Cassidon because I figure maybe me and Kennen could take him down. Unfortunately, he kills me rather quickly. Irelia shows up for some reason, even though she should have known the Gangplank was coming down. And now she's forced into a 2v1. She's forced to burn her flash in order to survive, and for whatever reason, Kennen gives chase and gets blasted by the Cassidon, and now he's forced to burn his flash. So yeah, a whole lot of stuff happened in that situation. At least for me, I get a bit of mid lane farm, and I'm pretty ahead for a jungler. Now, the new Jungle Jacks are not necessarily new. At least the newly arisen Jungle Jacks is gaining traction because, like I said, everyone else has sort of been nerfed or changed or something. But the new Trinity Force is incredibly efficient for junglers, and it fixes one of Jax's biggest issue as a jungler. And remember, I'm only saying this in the sort of solo queue perspective, so keep that in mind. However, I'll go back to that in a second. I want to highlight this. The Aurelia is constantly picking fights with Gangplank, so that makes it very easy to predict that she's going to jump on the Gangplank and try to show up, blue smite her, and then beat her to death. Remember, very aggressive laners are your go-to farm. If they're very aggressive, even if they're not really winning the trades that well, just keep that in mind. They're going to feed the shit out of you. So I'm going to be camping this Aurelia throughout the game as much as I can, or at least the early game. Anyways, back to the whole Trinity Force thing. Ever since the Stinger got remade, it's become such an efficient item, and Jungle Jacks became stronger as a result. Not as strong as Hecarim and a few others in the meanwhile, but he became really strong in his own right. See, the biggest problem in the Jungle Jacks was 2 things. One, he's a very expensive jungler to build, mostly because a lot of the items he wants or needs are kind of off ways and not too efficient. I mean, Trinity Force was, but not as efficient as you'd want it to be. And second, he's not really malleable as a champion. And what malleability means is where midway through the game you decide to alter your build some way, or you have different routes by building it piece by piece, like jumping from X item to this item to this item to that item. Anyways, I'm going to gank Irelia from the side because, again, she's super aggro and she's just waiting for the minion waves so she can punch through it all and heal herself and whatnot. So very easily I'm able to just jump on her and beat her to death. Hooray for me, I guess. And then bizarrely, the Gangplank doesn't even realize that he's pretty much run out of minions, so he just kind of dies to the tower. Thankfully, he didn't give any experience or any gold to the Aurelia, so whatever. Anyways, back to what I was saying about the Trinity Force. The new Trinity Force, or the new quote-unquote Trinity Force, has basically allowed it to be a sort of branching out item for Jax. It's incredibly strong. It allows you to buy Trinity Force, and then you can decide go into more damage, tankiness, etc., whatever the hell you want. And by the way, here I died because I thought that my teammates would follow me, so it was it was mostly my greed getting a little too overbloated there. Anyways, back to what I was saying. It allows Jax to just essentially branch out. It allows him to be less prone to getting starved in the early game, to not having sort of a core build. I mean, it sort of means you're tied down to the Trinity Force as one of the most important items in the jungle, but it's rather amazing. You buy Trinity Force, I can go Randon's Omen, I can go Banshee's Veil, I can go Blade the Rune King, I can go Gunblade. I can basically do all that stuff, and I won't really lose any strength. In the past, like I said, if you went with a if you went with like a Blade of the Ruined King start in the beginning, you already altered what you were going to have to do. You had to make it more efficient as the game went on, or else your first early purchases are going to bite you in the ass later down the line. So it's the Trinity Force is just such a very efficient and great item. And at the very least for solo queue, it's made a Jungle Jax a lot more of a serious pick rather than a vanity pick that some people would want. So right now, if you're pretty good at maintaining momentum and understanding when to pick fights and timing things right, I would say Jungle Jax is a very go-to champion you can play as pretty much mostly as a carry. Pseudo tank, but as a carry straight out. You just look at how much damage I can output rather quickly early on. Like as soon as you get the Trinity Force rolling, the new Stinger and all that other shit, it's amazing. The cooldown reduction on that whole Trinity Force shenanigans was a massive blessing. Again, remember, jungle is all about efficiency and whatnot, and this, I love it. I've been playing more Jungle Jax. I've been serious about it rather than just saying, oh, I want to play Jungle Jax. I pick them with the full intention of just bashing people to death and just winning. I will go out and say that for solo queue, he's now become a bona fide pick rather than, like I said, vanity pick. Straight out. I remember I gave him in that opinions on every jungler thing, I think I gave him a C rank. Now, thanks to the Trinity Force, he's basically a B and might even be a B+. It's just that good of a change for someone like him. He's still rather gold reliant for sure, because Trinity Force isn't just the kind of item you pick up and buy, but the cooldown reduction and the ability to sort of mix and match your items with a lot more ease and efficiency is a great boom. Anyways, as you can see, this game is sort of becoming kind of a global event, at least for the map, where the entire teams are flowing from bottom to top lane, just looking for a fight. It's very both teams know, since they both lack a true kind of tank, that the one to get the better initiation or the better response will basically win. So you can see that the Cassidy is blinking in and actually chunks us for a shitload of damage. So we basically have to control him or we're going to lose every fight. Unfortunately, doing so against a Cassidy is pretty hard. He goes in, he gets stunned, but we can't engage because the enemy team has a good position. And then I jump on the Lee Sin, mostly only to damage him because the enemy team was too far away, but I really engages. And that allows Kennen, Brandon, and the Ezra to use their ultimates to great effect. Unfortunately, we only kill the Aurelia, and the Cassidy flanks us. Look at this. He blows me the fuck up. They easily kill Brand, and we get super scattered, and they pick us all off. Except the Cannon, he gets to scamper off on his own. So yeah, that was a pretty poor fight in our hands right there. But either way, it highlights the situation with both team compositions. Both compositions are the type that these types of compositions against each other basically mean that every fight will either result in a near total wipe or a complete wipe. The little victories will mostly only happen if someone scampers off on their own, but a team fight is going to just be pure chaos and annihilation. So right now everyone is pretty scared to engage. We have to either lure out the Ashe's ultimate or we catch the Cassidy and beat him to death. So I'm just trying to pick off someone on the sidelines, maybe find the Lee Sin or the Ashe on our own and kill them. Unfortunately, it just seems that map control is not in our favor, so we back off. Right now, it's kind of a map control fight. Whoever gets the correct flank or something wins it out. Anyways, Cassidy, he's getting a little too penisy, right? He keeps going in with his blinks and whatnot, and as a result, he gets stunned by the Brand and immediately gets blown up. That allows us to pick off the Cassidy, the Sona, the Lee Sin, and they just kind of fall apart there. The Cassidy, for however powerful he is really overestimating how strong he can be in receiving any sort of punishment. But as I said, anyone who has poor initiation is going to basically lose, or in our case, who has good response. I think the Cassidy didn't think he was going to get caught by any stray CC, but the Brand's perfect Q stunned him, led to that whole situation happening. 3 dead, and it's actually a really bad situation for the enemy team now that their mid lane is open, and this game was gonna kind of come down to whoever gets the first lane because now the enemy team, if they're ever forced to defend, are going to lose so much ground, and my team is going to gain too much momentum that the enemy team is just not going to be able to keep up. As you can see, the enemy team is going to kind of force to constantly have at least 1 or 2 people down mid lane to defend against the super minions. As a result, they're scattered. My teammates are able to pick off the Cassidin and the Lee Sin as well. Or sort of. The Lee Sin gets to scamper off while we kill the Cassidin. And now with that, we're able to sort of push down, bring it down mid and bottom lane. Right now, watch this. This is an actually kind of interesting interaction. It's, again, the vision wars here. We're constantly picking off the any wards they put down. The enemy team is trying to defend them. But, like I said earlier, this is going to come down to the better response. And having someone who can flank, such as me, is a really big boon. And they know this, so they're trying to scare me off. But by doing so, they expose their tower and allow my teammates to bash it in even further. They lose all their they lose their defense. The tower goes down. The Irelia gets slowed down, and I catch them both, and they engage on me. The the Lee Sin kick technically saved my life. And as a result, we kill the Irelia and we kill the Ashe and the Sona, and now we're able to pick up another tower and an inhibitor as well. Now, with 2 exposed lanes, they're pretty much donezo. They're donezo, and since their towers are gunzo, so we back off. The Cassidin is giving chase, by the way. He's very, very aggressive. He does catch the Kennen, and he does finish him off, but me and Ezreal are just in the neighborhood and responds properly and kill him. So, yeah, the Cassidin needs to chill the fuck out. The enemy team's only hope right now is to catch us at an objective or something, and then just sort of try to go for a lane, because right now they just can't hold us off. They have good pushback with the Ashe and the Sona, but if they do that, then we're going to pick off some of them and just finish them off. Again, right now, it comes down to the fact that they can't engage on us without being too scared of the ultimate from Gangplank and the Kennen. So we easily get this inhibitor. You can see me standing at the sidelines because I can't afford to be engaged on because I die rather quickly, and that's why I'm building a Banshee's Veil down the line so they can't engage on me. I could use a Randuin's Omen too, but still. Right now, again, they have to defend against the super minions, so we easily get this tower. I told my teammates, let's go for Baron, because the Baron is exposed, and they really can't stop it unless they sacrifice their Nexus towers, and they decide to take the gamble against the Baron. We stop and prepare to engage on them, and you can see me, I'm going to go from the side to try to flank them. And for some reason, Lee Sin just immediately kicks me. It's pretty pointless. But Kennen goes in with Zhonya's and doesn't use his ultimate. So, this situation, which could have been really good for us, turns out into a very bad engage, and we lose 2 members for just Lee Sin's life. Fortunately for us, like I said, the super minions are the biggest issue on the enemy team, and the super minions take out the one Nexus tower and nearly destroy the other. Again, the super minions are their biggest worry, and they're kind of letting them run rampant. As a result, my team is basically gaining full map control from this. Irelia goes in for some reason and kills the Ezreal, but it costs her life. On one hand, she is sort of buying them time for the inhibitors to respawn because we lost Ezreal and we do desperately need him. On the other, as a result, we can gain even more map control and sort of starve the enemy out. You can see the goal difference between both teams is extraordinary at this point. My team has pretty much nearly completed their item sets, and we're pretty defensive at this point. So the weakness of us being engaged is being made irrelevant. We're buying some magic resistance. We're buying. I'm buying them Banshee's Veil. So we're just trying to become as hard as possible to kill. And that's the only thing the enemy team had going for them. The off chance of catching me or the brand off guard and finishing us off. Now it requires too many resources to be reasonable. So we're very able to sort of casually stroll in and just take the inhibitors. Again, they can't fight us because our counter engage is too damn strong, and if they even try to pick any one of us off, it's going to cost them too much. I have Banshee's Veil, I'm Jax, so I'm naturally kind of harder to kill, and the brand has Guardian's Angel. So, yeah, we're at this point, the enemy team can't really do anything. Cassidin went in, and we don't really kill anybody outside of the Irelia who gets really too ham, and we trade the Kennen for that, but still, we get the inhibitor, and that's kind of all we really want. We're just trying to get the the super minions in here to finish the game off, and as a result, yeah, that's pretty good for us. Kassadin also just kind of gives chase again, just like before. He gets absolutely bum-fucked. Yeah, he uses his Anyas, but of course he's not going to survive this. The Kennen ultimate, Ezreal ultimate rips him apart. So, with Kassadin being picked off, we're able to sort of push back once again. So I'm just waiting for my homies to come in here, go top lane, just zoom around, because I knew the enemy team was on the blue side and I didn't want to run into them. We catch them from the side, they engage all on me. It takes a whole lot to even bring me down, and I don't even die. The Ezreal ultimate, the Brand ultimate, the Kennen ultimate tears them to shreds. We kill the Aurelia, so the Brand goes in, catches the Ashe, burns her to cinders as well. But either way, Ashe and Aurelia being down is probably one of their biggest, two of their most biggest important characters. More so than Kassadin, really, because at this point he doesn't really do very much. So with that done, we push the last Nexus turret, and we're able to bring it home. It was a pretty damn good match. Both team compositions were really inefficient, but it came down to the individual plays of the players and the risks and rewards that were attempted to be taken. So hooray for Jax and Brand and homies. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel and subscribe if you haven't yet. I've also made a Patreon now, and if you wish to support me through that medium, then I welcome it.